Hey guys, what is up? We are gonna have a chat back in the car, ready to pull some cards and just see what's up. See what's up. See what's up. Because you know what? I'm a divine channel. I channel the universe, source consciousness, whatever you want to call it, the truth, your higher self. That's what I do. And I do it because I know it's the way to the good life. And I'm still figuring it out. So I wanted to be here with you while I'm figuring it out, sharing with you, figuring it out, helps me figure it out. It's like a win-win situation. And you know what I like to do? I like to use tarot to help me do it. I have a couple of new decks, which always gets me excited to pull. I have a couple old favorites, semi-old. I haven't had this deck very long, but man, it became a favorite real quick. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what I do here. Please like and subscribe. If you're gonna stick around, you wanna, do this thing together. That's what we're gonna do. Having a nice coffee. Oh, they put a heart on the side. Cute. Okay. You know what? The first things first. Stop it. Let's just take a breath. Let's just take a breath. We're just going to shuffle and we're going to breathe. And we're just going to breathe fully in, fully out. I let it in on our axis, getting all the crap out. That's what we're doing. Coming here. Seriously, though. I'm going to get centered, get out of the way, start shuffling, let the channel come through. See what's up. Talk about it. Here we go. It's the Seven of Wands. Not gonna lie, personally, this card's been following me. So I guess we're in it together because here it is for you right now. Yeah. With this on the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Another 7. So it's kind of like when things are calm and quiet, that might be weird for you. Maybe life is usually chaos. If you're anything like me and you've got that ADHD and you've got just a chaotic life, right? Maybe as you were growing up, you were always waiting for the shoe to drop. Like things would come in that were good and then boom, life would throw a tantrum. And so you got used to bracing for that. You also got used to handling yourself in the chaos. And I say it that way because it wasn't self-love. It was dealing with, it was judgment, because that's how you saw people do it before you, right? Maybe your parents fought themselves, overthought things, couldn't have what they wanted, so were constantly manipulating and creating, conjuring, kind of make something happen and just hanging on. Bracing yourself for impact. That's what it feels like. Bracing yourself for impact. And so what's coming forward now is, instead of doing that and continuing to fight ourselves and continuing to see things from the perspective of lack and what I don't have and why I'm not good enough, you're trying to shift into the abundant being you came here to be, right? And no more of having to fight yourself. And it's coming for you, okay? And as you start to take notice and try and find peace in the calm, because that's not what you're used to, as you start to take notice, the universe is going to meet you there, okay? It's going to meet you there as you fall into this place of alignment with your soul and your mind and your heart and your body and all the things coming together. The universe is going to meet you there. So you're going to be there, and the universe is going to look at this, over it. Okay, you're over it. And so the universe is meeting you there. They're right there with you. And they say, yeah, we see you. We're trying to help you rest. We're trying to show you how to take it easy. Focus on your joys and the things that light you up and you want to focus on, right? Here we have the artist creating the art, which is not always easy for the artist, right? Sometimes they hit roadblocks, blocks in their mind. They don't know what to create, so they get a muse and they dive back in, okay? They get a muse and they dive back in. It really doesn't matter where you start, right? Just find something that ignites you into diving back in, because the universe is going to meet you there and they're going to say, wow, that's awesome. And they're going to give you pats on the back and congratulations and feed you things to keep you going. And some of it's going to be critiques to make changes, and some of it is going to be critiques so that you can say, F you, I'm doing it this way, right? Because you are a badass being full of possibility and magic and wonder. And so, how can you use your intuition in a new way? How can you see yourself in a new way? How can you let go? Take off the blindfold. That's what it is. Take off the blindfold. See yourself in a new way through the eyes of your intuition, the eyes of your soul. Yeah. See yourself in a new way. I've had to do that. I have had to do that multiple times. And this time it feels deeper and more potent than any other time. In the last few months, I've had to go through so much change and growth and have compassion and love for myself that, yeah, I guess I didn't always have. And maybe you know what that's all about. We're going to hear from my new deck now. My new ones, this guy here, based on like traditional tattooing. Ooh, love that. Your wish is my command, and that is source and your soul co-creating. And when we let ourselves be there, see, when you come from that perspective of bad shit's always going to happen to me, right? Like when you grew up waiting for the bad thing to come in and just enjoy while you can, it leads you to do a lot of like instant gratification things, addiction things, bad habit things, right? Like I got to drink way too much caffeine because I needed to pick me ups of caffeine because I didn't have the basis of fulfilled, amazing things are happening to me. I was always gearing up for the next bad thing. And so if you're kind of like that, it can lead you to never really claim and choose what it is you really want and get really intentional. It just has you asking for frivolous wishes. And that's not what the universe wants to bring you. They want to bring you your truest desires. They want you to see that you are the master of your domain, the creator with them. And they want to give you the gifts. They want to share with you. They want to show you the joy of being you and how much you've given to this world by being you. The sun, as I say that. And that's the growth, right? Is seeing that without doing anything, by showing up here, being a human on this planet, contributing to yourself is actually beautiful. And it shines down. That's what you're here for, to exist, to be. And you don't have to do anything. You get to do whatever you want. Get to do whatever you want in the world. The universe will shine down on you and the earth will support you. And they want you to see that you're so much more than you've maybe believed that you are. Because that's the other thing. When you recognize that life is taking from you and it's take, and you're waiting for that shoe to drop and those bad things to happen, you ultimately believe that's also what you deserve. Oh, Gord, someone is parking right next to me with their car. Okay, so I got distracted there. So we're just going to hop back into the message. Refresh, message, refresh. What is going on? Yeah, I think basically what we were getting at there is when we expect the worst, we never make true intentions for the greatness that we could achieve in this life, or the things that are really in our soul's contract, if you will, the things we really want to explore. Some of those things are frivolous little things. Some of those things may be bigger, helpers to humanity or helpers to your family, your ancestry, things like that. It don't matter. If you are basically in survival mode, preparing for that shoe to always drop, then you never get to ask Source to expand into that next level of your life, right? There's survival level, there's learning level. You're birthed and you have to learn how to human, just be alive, breathe, eat what it takes to live in a day. You gotta sleep, you gotta get up, you gotta have routines and things and fit in boxes and explore those boxes. And then you unfold a life, right? You become an adult, I guess, as we call it, right? We have childhood and adolescence, and now you're an adult. And now you've gone from surviving and learning what it means to be a human, right? Looking at those examples around you, following the rules, learning lessons, learning. And now you're this adult who unfolds their life. But if you've only learned survival mode and that's what it is to live, when your life unfolds in adult world and you're starting to try and create real things and fit into society and money, we all know, right? And you're trying to unfold this life. If you're only in survival mode, then what are you asking for? Well, you just want things. You want money. You want food. You want a roof over your head. You want more clothes. More clothes. That's me. And so you start to attach to different things and make stories about who you are and what it means to survive as you and what that's going to take and what this unfolding life is going to be. And you're always waiting for that shoe to drop. You can see how you wouldn't really the energy into manifesting these amazing things. However, these soul aligned things, because you're in survival mode. However, when you're dreaming, you're daydreaming, you're cooking, you're in the shower, maybe you're crying or daydreaming or whatever, and just thinking about life. And these times pop up in your mind, and your soul kind of pings you on a hobby or a dream vacation or a bucket list thing, right? And you're putting these things down, these ultimate dreams, but you can't manifest them. You can't really manifest them. You don't let yourself live there to really manifest them, because you are over here trying to survive, right? Make a buck, unfold your life, live, fit in the boxes that you've learned to be in. And if you're having that waiting for the shoe to drop thing, because that's what you learned in all those years turning into an adult, you have those dreams, but there's no connection to how to make them happen. You're over here surviving. There's no real intention for the universe to meet you at. And that's what this message is about. When you really start asking for the things that are really on your soul, the universe will start showing you how to get them. And you're going to have to shift from survival mode. You're going to have to shift from instant gratification and habits that you've developed to kind of enjoy this unfolding. Like for me, coffee, smoking weed, things like that help me from being just straight up bored and keep me kind of entertained as I go in survival mode, instead of manifesting the things I really want, right? Asking the genie for those really beautiful intentional things and getting out of that instant gratification. That's what this message is about. So how do we do that? If this is you, if you're over it, and this is the thing, you have to kind of indulge that, and I think get over it in order to get to the place of really going beyond and asking for more. Yes, 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 yeah. Asking for more. And it's not so much about juggling anymore. It's about being, the universe sees you as this beautiful, beautiful being. It's filling you up, okay? Filling you up. That's what it wants to do. That's what it wants to do. And when you can see that it's less about juggling and more about balance, I love how they drew this card. It's not just the juggle. It's finding your strength and your footing and the balance, the in-between, the gray. Instead of living in those extremes, they're showing you how to find your balance. They're filling you up so you can stay on your axis and really appreciate what life has brought so far, what you are, and relish in what's going to come next. Okay, that's the vibe that they're bringing. So how do we do that? There's a flexibility and a strength here, an on-axisness, a balance. It's knowing that you're here as an earthly being and that you're also co-creating with the universe. So appreciating the journey, appreciating that level of balance and artistry that it takes from you to be you, to co-create with the universe, to see beyond. I'm seeing this lotus flowers here, and I'm being reminded of that story of how they come through the mud. And another channeler recently talked about that, and how, when the lotus flower is in the mud before it comes up and becomes this beautiful, delicate flower, what looks to be this beautiful, delicate flower, it has all this strength under there. It perseveres. It doesn't stop and go, I'm in the mud and I'm stuck here. It goes, no matter what, I'm going to become this beautiful flower. And if it takes a bit longer because it's extra muddy and rainy this year, then it takes a bit longer, right? It doesn't judge itself on the way up through the mud. It knows there's interworkings behind the scenes. It knows, and it lets go, and it surrenders, and it becomes part of the ecosystem. And it's no longer in surviving mode, but it's in thriving mode. It's appreciation and thriving. That's what's here for us. Definitely feeling that emotional release is necessary. So take that time to really let go, right? Rest, digest, like let go. Let those emotions flow. Once upon a time in my life, in order to cry, I had to watch a sad movie, and I only did it every few months. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? One should experience and relish in a full spectrum of emotions all the time. And not because you're on an emotional roller coaster, but because you're an emotional being and it's fun to experience. It's part of the experience. It's not even fun. That's even a judgment in itself. It's just the experience is to experience. That means crying. That means anger. That means happiness. That means being ecstatic. It means mourning and grieving and feeling and expressing, right? And so there's a whole range of emotions for you to feel within this body, and they don't mean anything about you. They're the senses. This life is meant to be sensed, felt, touched, experienced. And when you're in survival mode, You don't get the full range of senses, I'm afraid, and I know this from experience. You don't. You get a lot of icky emotions. You get a lot of flipping back and forth between one or two. Like, people will have, they're not all the same, but we'll have this roller coaster we go between. So for me, it was extreme depression because I was really angry at one point when I was quite young. My soul, or my my ego, my higher self were mad about being in survival mode, and I was quite mad, and I wasn't allowed to be mad. Sad was slightly more acceptable. I wasn't really allowed to be that either, but definitely wasn't allowed to have extreme anger. So for me, I learned to anything that wasn't awesome got pushed into deep sadness. And when I was done experiencing that, and the body just physiologically, you will move through emotions. You only stay in one spot so long. And so when my body was tired of that, it then would move into extreme, like mania, like just adrenaline hits the most as it could get. And then I would get really tired of that and burnt. And then we would go into the depression for the rest. And so I would use sad movies to experience crying, to release and move into the next mode. Crazy, right? So why was I telling you that story? I think because the point is we're meant to, instead of just flipping ourselves between two emotions as we're trying to survive, we're meant to experience them all. If you were to Google an emotional wheel, you would see that there's a whole ton of emotions, names for emotions that we feel, which are chemicals within this physical body. And as you feel them, you can start to experience, instead of them making them mean something and create just that roller coaster of emotion because you're always being pulled by life, you can start to see your thoughts contribute to how you feel, and attachments to how you feel contribute to the things that you create within your life. That's your magnetism, right? So there's a lot to be explored here. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you for that, Spirit. I really like seeing the wisdom of my life come together, and I hope that it's a win-win and you're getting some wisdom as well. Okay, I'm gonna grab one more deck because it's so fun. I love this one. It's got really cool colors. Cards themselves are quite dark, not colorful. Oops. Very basic, kind of just gold and black. But I'll flash it there. Look at the sides. Cool, right? So it drew me in. And the skeletons. Give me some, I don't know, it feels gothy. Let's see what else. Let's take another breath while I'm shuffling. Really ground in this message. What else do we need to know about this? Over it. 4 of Cups. Don't give up. That's what I want to say. It's you're ready to go from survival into thrival. And the universe is right here. Oh, you can't see that very well because of the sunshine, but has your back, right? Wrapped around you, has your back, is giving you everything you're asking for. It just doesn't always look like what you'd expect. That's the thing. And so if you're over what you've been receiving, find gratitude for what you have so you can get a new perspective. Because when you're frustrated and over it, it's really hard to see a new perspective. What would it take for you? What would it take for you to see that you are a co-creator, the master of your domain? What gratitude could you have so you could see you're creating this world? You know what? Maybe giving a little bit, giving of yourself, sharing yourself with someone, maybe sharing some wisdom you've learned over the years. That's always a nice way to feel like, okay, this hasn't all been for naught. It's okay that I spent 40 years in survival mode. I've learned a lot, and here is some of it. And you get that gratitude going. You go, okay, well, thank goodness I learned that because I just gave that wisdom to someone. Actually, I always remember I was doing a reading, and afterwards the client looked at me and she just took this big sigh. You can see the weight lifted off her shoulder, and she goes, it was by chance that I came down here to get a reading today. Like, it was just a quick intuitive hit, and she just followed it. She doesn't always do, and she took a chance, and she was just like, I'm so grateful you were here today. She says that to me. You could just see the relief. And I remember that anytime I'm uncertain as to, why I like doing readings so much, and how sometimes I think of how dumb it is or whatever. And I just go, no. We all have something to share here. And when I get to remember that, it fills my cup, and I go, okay, I'm valuable and I have more to offer this world than just survival mode. So do you. So let me know what it is. Let's explore. Let me know in the comments what it is for you. Whoa, my camera's going to fall. And I think my battery is going to die. So let's leave it there. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're over it. What can you do for some gratitude? What can you give and share to pump your tires and get filled up so you can, the energy keep building on itself. Pretty soon it's going to be a snowball of amazing energy and vitality coming in for you. Okay, ciao for now.